Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now, Zelensky got punched in the face and by Xi Jinping. Zelensky wanted so much to see Xi Jinping and talk to Xi Jinping and show Xi Jinping what's going on in Ukraine so he can ask for money and support. And eventually Xi Jinping said, okay, I'm going to talk to you when I feel like. Anyway, Mr. Zelensky called him today. And I think Mr. Zelensky regrets greatly the fact that he called Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping is not only smart, he's also with big balls, okay? So I think Zelensky will not call Xi Jinping again. He expected this Zelensky. I heard Zelensky talk. And he talks with people like he's in charge, And he's talking like, hey, this is the way it's going to happen here. You do this, we need this, you gotta give us this. If you don't give us this, you are bad people and you're gonna burn in hell and we are gonna win. And he plays tough. He's just a weasel, he's a clown, okay? He's an actor, that's what he is. But anyway, he thought he's gonna, arm wrestle Mr. Xi Jinping, and he got bruised in his little clown nose. So what happened? You remember that Mr. Zelensky supposedly came up with a little plan, some steps, a little plan to end this war, about 10 action plan, which is 10, how should I put it, unworkable steps, 10 of them. Well, China came with its proposal. If you remember, I made a video, if I remember correctly, on that one. If not, you can still find it online. You can find articles about that. Everyone in the West, plus anyone except Hungary and Ukraine, they were laughing and they just discarded China's plan like garbage. Guess what happened in a conversation between Zelensky and Xi Jinping? Xi Jinping told him about his steps, his plans, his points, and And Zelensky had to listen because he can't do anything about it. So it was Zelensky's little plan against this guy's little plan. And Xi Jinping stood his ground against the clown. It's not hard to see he's a clown, but anyway. They tried to build this guy. If you look at each and every picture that you see online, provided with Zelensky, Zelensky is like a concerned, tough guy, like Churchill. Remember that picture with Churchill? I think he's with a cigar and whatever, he's got brandy next to him or something, or he just put it aside. If you if you read about it, that's how it was. He was a little bit groggy at that time. But anyway, what do I know? Just read. And if you did, then you agree with me. If not, anyway, let's go and see what's going on here. So, Ukrainska Pravda. She tells Zelensky about quote-unquote points and quote-unquote steps to be taken to end war. I'm pretty sure that Zelensky was like, During a conversation with President Volodymyr Zelensky, Chinese President Xi Jinping outlined his vision of the steps that should be taken to end the war in Ukraine. That did not sit well with a clown, I guarantee you that. So he didn't probably want to hear what Zelensky had to say. He said, this is what I want, take it or off. Alright, so this is according to Chinese state-owned agency Xinhua. Alright, quote, Xi noted his proposals of 4 points about what must be done for a peaceful settlement, 4 things the international community must do together, and 3 observations regarding the course of the war, saying that on this basis China releases its position on the political settlement of the Ukraine crisis. End quote. And again, I'm quoting. China will send a special representative of the Chinese government on Eurasia affairs to visit Ukraine and other countries to conduct in-depth communication with all parties on the political settlement of the crisis. So, China is going to send, and I already read, it's going to be a former ambassador. I don't know if it was to Ukraine. This guy is going to come and go to speak with other countries and figure out what's going on. He's going to continue his proposal. 4 points, all right, for a must be done proposal. Now let's continue quoting here. Xi pointed out that bilateral relations between China and Ukraine have gone through 31 years of development and reached the level of strategic partnership, which has boosted the respective development and revitalization of the two countries. End quote. China did not create the Ukraine crisis, nor it is a party to the crisis, she said, adding that a permanent member of the UN Security Council and a responsible major country, China, would not sit idly by, nor would it add oil to the fire, still less exploit the situation for self-gains. That means, I'm not part of it, I can tell you who they blame, will not add oil to the fire like others, about 40 other states, and will not stay and wait these guys beat Russia. That's my interpretation, which obviously could be much exaggerated. So, she also noted that mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity is the political foundation of bilateral relations. He reiterated that on the nuclear issue, all relevant parties, and I'm quoting, should remain calm and exercise restraint, end quote. We'll see how you will exercise restraint and stay calm when they're gonna bring, which they do right now, a nuclear-armed submarine in next to South Korea. I just read an article about that. So yeah, we'll see how we're gonna calmly and you exercise restraint. All right, the Chinese president also said that he would continue to send humanitarian aid to Ukraine, and I'm adding, and military aid to Russia. The Chinese state-owned news agency noted several times that she spoke about the crisis in Ukraine, end quote, which in particular has a significant impact on the international landscape. Quote, on the Ukraine crisis, China always stands on the side of peace, and its core stance is to facilitate talks for peace, she said. So, well, this is, and it says here that background on the afternoon of 26th of April, it became known that Ukrainian president had a telephone conversation. No, he called Xi in the article that I covered. This is the first conversation between the two leaders since Russia's Talala Lululu. China will send China's former ambassador to Russia, Li Hui, as a special representative to Ukraine. So, ambassador to Russia. That's what the guy is going to come to Ukraine and other countries to communicate on resolving the Ukrainian crisis. Again, she tells Zelensky about points and steps, and here must be done and be taken. All right, so I think Zelensky will not call Xi Jinping again, and I don't think he's going to do anything because Xi Jinping left it like, okay, let's assess the situation. We're going to come and send this Liu Hui or whatever his name is. He's going to come over there, take a look left, right, up, down, and in the middle, and then he's going to come and report to me, and we're going to make a decision how we are going to tell you how you can implement the 4 points that you must implement. So what does it tell you? Russia did not give up about Zelensky's 10 points, if you know what I mean. That's my interpretation, and I stand by it because they didn't say anything about Zelensky's side. I think Zelensky was like, I guess. That's how should I put it? Straight, I think. A clown put in a real situation cannot perform as a real guy. He's a clown. All right? So this guy can play a game, but when he's put in a real situation, like, people pretend that, hey, I'm a cop, or I'm, a fighter. Yeah, man, they can pretend. But when you get the weasel and put in the middle of a fight, then you see what that person is made out of. The same with Zelensky. Zelensky can play tough with his buddies, with guys that are already sucking his thing because of the United States of America. When he goes to Germany and other countries, they roll the red carpet for Zelensky. He's already won the fight. He doesn't have to fight over there. This is a fight. What did he do? I guarantee you. Well, I'm just making it like this because I don't know. But According to the Ukrainians, and this is a Ukrainska Pravda, is not, and they cite the Chinese. Did it sound as a bad article? No. Derogatory to the Chinese? No. What does it tell you? We're waiting to see. Maybe, we'll find out. This is just the first step. Remember, Xi Jinping told Ursula that he's going to see Zelensky when time is right. That means when I have time, then maybe I'm open to meet that weasel. And Zelensky is like, little boy, yes, what is he going to do? Everywhere he was invited, he was hailed, the great general, the great this. With real people, and I think this guy is a real person in a way of, you know what I mean? Not like the rest. Even King Charles invited him, shook hands, and he was so impressed by Zelensky. I mean, I felt like vomiting right there, but what do you expect? Unfortunately, anyway, I think that's enough for this one. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.